Welcome to Positive Atheism English channel. Today, I shall continue from the last episode of the article Atheism, Challenges and Responses written by Dr. Dhaneshwar Sahu, the Professor of Philosophy from Bhubaneswar, Orissa. In the history of philosophy, we come across philosophical views that question the age-old beliefs of theism. Particularly, all the arguments upon which theism was supposed to be founded were critically examined. The ontological, cosmological, or teleological argument, which was supposed to rationally justify the theistic assumptions, crumbled when philosophers pointed out the fallacies of these arguments at a sub-level of logical reflection. What was considered as conclusive at one point of time was considered as illogical with the progress of critical thinking and philosophical reflection. Further, once upon a time, it was believed that the world was created by some all-powerful God. The vastness and complexity of the world gave impression to an inquisitive mind that perhaps all things and events here in this cosmos are created and designed by some supernatural deity. In the religious framework, it was the usual belief. But when modern science, in its varied fields like physics, astronomy, chemistry, biology, geology, etc., increasingly established a natural order, the religious notions of creations were proved to be false. The scriptural description about cosmology, genesis, etc., were found to be false and away from factual evidence. The religious world view was no longer acceptable in the light of scientific knowledge. The different branches of science cumulatively fortified the autonomy of the natural order and relegated all theological speculations as illusions or fantasies. With the falsification of some of the important contents of religious scripture, the status of the holy books as divine revelations were lowered in their respective tradition. In the medieval period, a natural calamity was supposed to be a divine wrath to punish human beings for their sin. Even epidemics were considered as a penalty for sin or the result of culpable misuse of freedom granted to man. In some religions, there is the idea of eternal torment in hell which can never be redeemed. Some other religions philosophize about human suffering as a result of some bad deeds done by the agent in his previous life. Religions hold that life as such is an evil. To born is to undergo all suffering, and human suffering can be ended by achieving liberation. All these mystifications about human suffering and evil were related to God's purpose and design. But history has been witness to the fact that by incessant effort man has tried to control many natural calamities and find out the cure of many of the fatal diseases. Man is no more a prey to the natural fury. Rather, he has been able to control many natural calamities, disasters, and epidemics. Prayer or worship has nothing to do with man's safety. On the contrary, human effort, knowledge, and healthy social practice make life more meaningful, creative, and happier. Man has evolved from a state of barbaric and nomadic insecurity to today's civilized existence in a stable society. Even there have evolved global vision and international organizations consequent upon the progress of science and technology. In this march, from nomadic, uncivilized existence to the technological sophistication, there is only human effort. Religion, with its theistic presupposition, when loses its grip over one area, shifts its stand to another area in its struggle to exercise its hold upon man and society. Once upon a time, moral values were supposed to be the command of God and justified by theistic account. Even the belief prevailed that one cannot be morally good without being a theist. But man's experience reveals that human beings are able to survive more meaningfully and more successfully in their community if they cherish ethical ideals in their social relationships. The moral ideals have emerged in the society and have not been commanded by any God as they change and are culture specific. People in a society decide what is ethically good or desirable by using their experience, feelings, and best thoughts. We accept honesty, integrity, fairness, non killing, and others' dignity, etc., not because these ideals are commands of God, but because they are necessary and useful to have a meaningful social coexistence. man's rational impulse to have a meaningful coexistence has given rise to ethical values. So too, in the world, some progressive civilization values have evolved which can improve the quality of life. And from here, we shall continue in the next episode again. Thank you.
For more videos, please subscribe to this channel Positive Atheism and activate the bell icon. Please download Samaram multi-channel app and watch your favorite channels from your mobile. App available on Google Play Store and subscribe to the channels.